Hello everyone, welcome back to my Easy Grade YouTube channel. Today we are going to study one of the most important chapter in class 10 biology, that is life processes. In this chapter we will understand how living organisms maintain their life, whether it is a tiny amoeba or a human being. Certain processes keep running all the time to keep us alive. We will learn in detail about nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. So keep your notebook and pen ready. Write down the important points as we go. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, first, we will learn about what are life processes. Life processes are the basic functions that living organisms perform to maintain their life on Earth. Just like a car needs a petrol, oil, and maintenance to keep running, like that only, a body also needs continuous maintenance. Even when we are sleeping or sitting quietly, many processes are working inside us: breathing, heart beating, digestion, etc. These are called life processes. The goal, the goal of these processes in that they, is that they must continue all the time, means 24 hours a day without stopping. If any important process stops even for a short time, the organism can die. So, these processes are non-stop maintenance work of the body. Now, next we will learn about criteria for being alive. First, visible movement. We can easily see running, shouting, breathing, or walking. That is called visible movement. The second one is muscular movement. This is very important. Inside every living cell, lots of tiny movements and chemical reactions keep happening. These are invisible to eyes but proves that the cell is alive. And the third one is growth. Most living things grow with a time. A small baby becomes an adult, and a small plant becomes a big tree, like that. And the fourth one is viruses. This is a special and controversial case. Viruses do not show any muscular movement or growth when they are outside a cell. They only become active when they enter a living cell. That is why scientists are still debating whether viruses are living or non living things. Okay, and next we will study about requirement for maintenance. To keep the body structures safe and prevent damage, organisms need energy. Why organisms need energy? To keep the body structures safe and prevent damage. So organisms need energy. Where does this energy come from? It comes from food. This process of taking food inside the body and using it is called nutrition. Now, what is nutrition? The process of taking food inside the body and using it. Okay? The most food sources on earth are carbon based. That is why carbon is very important for life. Depending on how complex the carbon molecules are, different organisms follow different types of nutrition. Okay, next we will study these types in detail. First, we will study about nutrition. Nutrition is divided into two main types, that is heterotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. First, we will learn about heterotrophic nutrition. Now, what is heterotrophic nutrition? These organisms prepare their own food. They use simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water. And green plants are the best examples, okay, for heterotrophic nutrition. They use sunlight and chlorophyll to make food, okay. uh, Now, heterotrophic nutrition, these organisms cannot make their own food. They depend on autotrophs or other heterotrophs for ready made food. All animals, humans, and fungi come in this category, okay, in heterotrophic nutrition. So, heterotrophs are self dependent, while heterotrophs are the dependent on others. Next, we will study about mechanism of photosynthesis. Mechanism of photosynthesis. This is very important topic. Okay. Green plants use chlorophyll to trap sunlight and convert it into chemical energy. Okay. The overall equation is in the screen there. You can see. Now there are three main steps in this: absorption, conversion, and reduction. Absorption. Chlorophyll absorbs light energy from the sun. Is called absorption. That is called absorption. And conversion. This light energy is converted into chemical energy. Okay. And reduction. Carbon dioxide is reduced to form carbohydrates. In absorption, chlorophyll absorbs light energy from the sun, and in conversion, light energy is converted into chemical energy. And in reduction, carbon dioxide is reduced to form the carbohydrates. Okay, this is about mechanism of photosynthesis. Next, we will study about stomata and gas exchange. Plants exchange gases mainly through tiny pores on the leaves called stomata. What is stomata? The tiny pores on the leaves. Okay. A lot of carbon dioxide goes in and oxygen comes out through these pores during photosynthesis. Some exchange also happens through stems or roots. Guard cell control the opening and closing of stomata. When guard cells get water, they become swollen and the pore opens. When they lose water, they shrink and the pore closes. This is the smart mechanism to save water during hot days or at night. Okay. Now, what is the function of the guard cell? The opening and the closing of the pores is the function of the guard cell. Okay. Now, next we will study about heterotrophic variations. Heterotrophic organisms cannot make their own food. Yes or no? Yes. So, they have different ways of obtaining it. There are three main types: sapropatic nutrition, holozoic nutrition, and parasitic nutrition. First, we will see sapropatic nutrition. These organisms break down the food outside their body, okay, and then absorb it. For example, fungi, bread mold, and yeast. Okay, these are the examples for sapropatic nutrition. You must have seen the bread becoming soft and white after a few days. Yes or no? That's because of sapropatic fungi. They release digestive juices outside and absorb the nutrition. Okay, and next we will study about holozoic nutrition. In this type, the organism takes in the whole food particle inside the body and then digests it. Okay, example for holozoic nutrition is amoeba and the human beings. Next, Parasitic nutrition. These organisms live on or inside the body of a host and take food from the host without immediately killing it. Examples: cascata, okay, and leeches. These are the examples for parasitic nutrition. So, what we understood in this? Different heterotrophs have different strategies to get food. Okay. Next, we will study about nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism, but its nutrition process is very interesting. It catches food using pseudopodia, temporary finger-like extensions. It surrounds the food particle and engulfs it. Then food vacuole is formed around the food. And then inside the food vacuole, digestive enzymes break down the complex food into a simple substances, and the digested food diffuses into the cytoplasm and is used for energy and growth. Finally, the undigested waste is thrown out from the surface of the cell. This process is called egestion. Okay, this whole process shows how even a single uh, celled organism can perform all life processes. So, pseudopodia, temporary finger-like extensions, capture food, and food vacuole, complex food is broken into simple ones inside the vacuole. And in diffusion, digested food diffuses into the cytoplasm, and undigested waste is removed to the surface and thrown out. Is called This process is called egestion. Okay. Now we start studying human digestion. There are two types of digestion here. Okay, digestion begins in the mouth. Okay, in that there are two types of digestion, that is physical breakup and chemical breakup. Physical breakup: our teeth crush the food into a small soft particles. Then the tongue helps in mixing the food thoroughly with saliva. Okay, this is called physical breakup. And chemical breakup: saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. This enzyme starts breaking down starch, means complex carbohydrate, into a simple sugar. That is why if you chew a rice or bread for a long time, it starts tasting sweet. This is the first step of the long digestive journey. Okay, the mouth is the uh, first step of the long digestive journey. Okay. In physical breakup, teeth crush the food into small soft particles, and in chemical breakup, salivary amylase enzyme breaks down starch, means complex sugar, into a simple sugar. After the mouth, food goes to the esophagus, means food pipe. And here peristalsis happens, the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles that pushes the food forward like a wave. In the stomach, gastric glands releases three important things, that is HCl, means hydrochloric acid, second pepsin, third one is mucus. HCl makes the medium acidic so that enzymes can work for that, and pepsin, an enzyme that digests the proteins, and the mucus, which protects the inner lining of the stomach from the strong acid. If mucus is less, The acidity can damage the stomach walls and cause acidity. So, mucus is very important. Now, we will study about the small intestine. This is the longest and most important part of the digestive system. Okay, a complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats happens here. The small intestine receives two important secretions, that is bile and pancreatic juice. Bile, it is from the liver. It breaks down large fat droplets into smaller ones. Okay, and in pancreatic juice, it is from pancreas. Okay, contains trapezium, means digests proteins, and lipase, digests fats. Okay, tricep trypsin digests protein and lipase digests fats. After digestion, the digested food is absorbed. For this, the inner walls have villi. Okay, millions of finger-like projections that increases the surface area for absorption. The absorbed nutrients go into the blood. Okay. Uh, Next, we will study about respiration. Okay. Respiration is the process of releasing energy from the food. There are two types here, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. This happens in the means aerobic respiration happens in the presence of oxygen. Okay, glucose is completely broken down into carbon dioxide and water. A large amount of energy is released. This is the normal respiration in human. And anaerobic respiration happens in the absence of oxygen. Glucose is partially broken down into ethanol or lactic acid, and much less energy is released. Okay. Aerobic uses oxygen, completely breaks glucose into carbon dioxide and water, and more energy is released. Anaerobic respiration happens in the absence of oxygen and breaks glucose into ethanol or lactic acid. Less energy is released. Okay. Now next we will study about breakdown of pyruvate. Glucose is first broken into pyruvate. Okay, then depending on oxygen availability, different things happens. In yeast, no oxygen, pyruvate is converted into ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. This is used in making bread and alcohol. In human muscles, during heavy exercise when oxygen is less, pyruvate is converted into lactic acid plus energy. This causes muscle cramps. Okay, and next in mitochondria with oxygen. Okay, pyruvic is completely broken down into CO2 plus H2O plus lots of energy. Okay, next we will study about ATP, the energy currency. Okay, the energy released during respiration is not used directly by the cell. Instead, it is immediately used to make a special molecule called ATP. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. Okay, just like we use money to buy things. Yes or no? The cell, like that, the cell uses ATP to carry out all its activities. Whenever a cell needs energy for any processes like muscle contraction, sending nerve signals or building new molecules. ATP breaks down and releases a fixed amount of energy. After giving energy, ATP becomes ADP, and then it again recharged using energy from respiration. This continuous cycle of ATP formation and breakdown keeps the cell running smoothly. Okay, and what is ATP? The energy released during cellular respiration is immediately used to synthesis a molecule called ATP. Now next we will study about human respiratory system. First let us understand how we breathe. Okay, air enters through the nasal passage, then goes to trachea, means windpipe, which has rings of cartilage to keep it open. From there it divides into bronchi and bronchioles and finally reaches the alveoli. Okay. Alveoli are tiny balloon like structures in the lungs. They are the actual site where gas exchange happens. The walls of alveoli are very thin and are richly supplied with blood vessels. Okay, this structure is perfect for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between air and blood. Now next we will study about gaseous exchange mechanism. How does gas exchange actually happen? In small organisms, simple diffusion is enough for gases to move in and out. But in large animals like humans, we need a special system. Yes or no? In simple diffusion is enough for gases to move in and out. For gases it is. But in a large human being, we need a special system, that is hemoglobin present in a red blood cells is is a respiratory pigment that carries oxygen from the lungs to all the tissues of the body. Carbon dioxide is more soluble in water, so most of it is transported in dissolved from in the blood plasma. Okay, this efficient transport system ensures that every cell gets oxygen and waste CO2 is removed quickly. Okay, CO2 is more soluble in water and is mostly transported in the dissolved from in the blood. Okay, next we will study about transportation. Transportation is the process of carrying food. You know, transportation is a process of carrying food, oxygen and waste materials to and from different parts of the body. In this, blood is the main carrier. It consists of liquid part called plasma, in which three types of cells float. Okay, that is red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells carry oxygen. White blood cells fight with infections, and platelets help in clotting. Okay, plasma transports digested food, carbon dioxide, and nitrogenous wastes in dissolved from. Okay, RBCs mainly transport oxygen with the help of hemoglobin. Next, we will study about the human heart. The heart is a muscular organ roughly the size of a fist. It acts as a pump for blood. It has four chambers, so the oxygen rich blood and carbon dioxide rich blood do not mix. This separation is very important for efficient oxygen supply. The upper two chambers are called atria, they receive blood, and the lower two chambers are called ventricles, they pump blood out. Okay, ventricles have thicker muscular walls because they have to generate more pressure to push blood to distant parts of the body. And next we will study about oxygen cycle in heart. Let's understand the journey of blood in the heart. Okay, first oxygen, a rich blood from the lungs enters the left atrium. From left atrium it goes left ventricles with the pumps it to the entire body. And next, deoxygenated blood, it is rich in carbon dioxide from the body returns to the right atrium. From right atrium, it goes right ventricles, which pumps it to the lungs of the oxygenation. This is a beautiful continuous cycle that keeps the oxygen supply going to all the parts of the body. Okay, next, double circulation. In humans, birds, and mammals, blood passes through the heart twice during one complete cycle. This is called double circulation. What is double circulation? Blood goes through the heart twice during each cycle in a body. Okay. And why it is important? Because it keeps oxygenated and deoxygenated blood completely separate. This follows the body to get a good supply of oxygen. In comparison, fish have only a two-chambered heart and a single circulation. Blood passes through the heart and only once in a cycle. Okay, it is only in fish. Next, we will study about blood vessels. There are three types of blood vessels in our body, that is, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries, these carry blood away from the heart to the different organs. They have thick and elastic walls because blood flows through them at very high pressure. Okay, arteries carry blood away from the heart, thick elastic walls because the blood is under high pressure. Next one is veins. These collect blood from the organs and bring it back to the heart. Their walls are thinner, but they have valves to prevent the backflow of blood. Veins collect blood from the organs back to the heart. Thin walls but have valves to prevent backflow. And next, capillaries. These are extremely thin vessels, only one cell thick, okay? And only one cell thick. They connect arteries and veins. All the exchange of materials, oxygen, food, waste between blood and body cells happens through capillaries. Okay? This network of blood vessels is like a complete transport system in our body. Next, we will study about platelets and lymph. Platelets. So, these are small cell fragments present in the blood. Their main job is to help in blood clotting. Whenever there is an injury or cut, platelets gather at that place and form the clot to stop bleeding and prevent infections. And the lump, it is a colorless fluid that comes out from the blood capillaries into the spaces between the body cells. It is a similar to the plasma but has less proteins. Okay, has it has less proteins. Okay, plasma has more proteins, for lumps has less proteins. It carries digested fat and also helps in fighting germs. It eventually returns to the blood. Together, blood and lump from the complete circulatory system. Now, next we will study about transportation in plants. Plants also need transportation or transportation system, no? Yes or no? Yes, plants also need. They need the transportation system. They have two main conducting tissues, that is xylem and phloem. First one, xylem. It transports water and minerals absorbed from the soil by the roots. The movement is upward only from the roots to leaves and other parts. And phloem transports the food made in the leaves to all other parts of the plant, both upward and downward. This is called translocation. Okay, these two tissues work together to keep the plant alive and growing. Next, we will study about transpiration pull. This is very important mechanism in plants. When water evaporates from the leaves, this is called transpiration. Okay, it creates a suction or pulling force. This force pulls water and minerals upward from the roots through the xylem vessels. Yes or no? All the way to the top of the plant, even at a tall trees. And the benefits for transpiration. It helps in continuous absorption and upward movements of water. And it also helps in cooling the plant just like sweating cools our body. This shows how plants cleverly use evaporation for this transport needs. Okay. Now next we will study about excretion. Excretion is a biological process of removing harmful metabolic waste from the body. In unicellular organisms, waste materials are simply removed by diffusion from the cell surface into the surrounding water. And in muscular organisms, like humans, special organs are needed for the excretion because the body is large and complex. The main waste product in humans is urea, which is formed from the breakdown of proteins. If these wastes are not removed, they become poisonous for the body. Now, what is excretion? The biological process involved in the removal of harmful metabolic waste from the body is called excretion. Now, next we will study about human excretory system. The main organs of the human excretory systems are kidney, uterus, urinary bladder, and urethra. First one, kidneys. A pair. Okay, kidneys are pair. Located in the abdomen, they filter the blood and remove wastes from urine. Uterus, a pair of tubes, carry urine from the kidneys to urinary bladders. Urinary bladder stores urine until we are ready to pass it. Urethra, the passage through which urine is expelled from the body. Okay, the kidneys are the most important organs here. They filter blood continuously and maintain the water and salt balance in our body. Now let's understand the nephron, which is the basic filtering unit of the kidney. Each kidney contains millions of tiny nephrons that help to clean our blood. First, filtration takes place in the Bowman's capsule. Here, waste materials and extra water are filtered from the blood. Next comes reabsorption. Useful substances like glucose, salts, and water are taken back into the blood because body still needs them. Finally, the remaining waste forms urine. This urine passes through tubes and reaches the urinary bladder for storage. So, the nephrons helps in filtering blood, saving useful materials and removing waste from the body. Now, what are the uses of nephron? Uh, Nephron helps in filtering blood, saving useful materials and removing waste from the body. Now next we will study about artificial kidney, hemodialysis. Kidneys are very important organs for our survival. If the kidneys stop working properly, harmful wastes start collecting in the blood, which can become dangerous. In such situations, doctors use an artificial kidney, also called hemodialysis. Artificial kidneys are also called hemodialysis. During dialysis, blood is passed through special tubes inside machine containing dialysing fluid. This machine removes waste materials and extra salts from the blood, similar to the work of a real kidney. It is similar to the work of the real kidney. After cleaning, the purified blood is sent back into the body. Thus, yes or no, thus, hemodialysis helps patient survive when their kidney are not functioning properly. Now, next we will study about uh, lastly excretion in plants. Plants also remove waste materials, but their method is different from humans. First, oxygen produced during photosynthesis is released as a waste product. Plants also remove extra water through transpiration from the leaves. Some wastes are stored in leaves, bark, and old xylem tissues. These wastes are removed when leaves fall off. Plants also store substances like resins and gums in old tissue. Certain waste materials are released into the soil through roots. In this way, plants maintain balance by removing unwanted substances from their body. And that's it. We have completed the entire lesson. We studied how organisms get nutrition, how they release energy through respiration, how substances are transported inside the body, and how waste materials are removed through excretion, and focus on the diagrams of human digestive system and respiratory system, human heart, and the excretory system. Also remember the equations of the photosynthesis and the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. This chapter is very important for your board exams. Revise it at least 2 to 3 times. And thank you so much for watching this complete detailed video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss any updates. All the best for your studies. Keep learning, keep growing. We will meet in the next chapter. Thank you.